Hi guys, it's your host Liz for the NACT Spring, which is coming up in just about a week or so. So, as we get ready and excited for the tournament, today we have a special interview with one of our favorite casters for the NACT, Trex. How are you doing today, Trex?
I am doing very, very well. But the question is, am I your favorite caster, Liz?
Well, you know you always have a special place in my heart.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
Trex, you just got back from Jakarta, and you are the first and only caster from North America who got invited to cast in the pro league scene in Asia. So, how was your experience? I'm sure everybody wants to know.
It was amazing. It was definitely it was everything I expected to be. A lot of people asked how M4 was and everything, and I think it met all my standards. I thought there was a lot of like sometimes something big happens and there's always like a few things maybe it's not as good as you thought it was going to be, but
Mhm.
honestly, it surpassed everything that I could have expected. Also, I got to have Dave as a roommate the whole time, so that was a plus. We had some real bonding moments, a lot of fun. But yeah, it was just awesome. The community. It was awesome to finally go to an event where there's like thousands of people and
Mhm.
everyone is there for Mobile Legends. It just kind of
It really
re-sparked
got real this
everything, right?
time.
Yeah, it got real.
Yeah, shit got real this time. So, how were you nervous for the tournament, like casting in front of such a big audience? Like everybody in that region loves the game and knows the game and knows you now. So did it kind of hit you
Um,
in that
It
moment?
de- I don't I wasn't the funny thing is the first day I casted, I did play by play and I wasn't really that nervous. I was pretty comfortable. The second day I did anchor, and that's when you're like, to anyone that doesn't know, when you're anchor, you're the person in like the middle seat normally, and you're the one who does like the opening, like when the cameras come on, you're like, "Welcome to Mobile Legends Bang Bang World Tournament, da da da. This is da da," and you're the one kind of controlling the desk. And that one, first day I wasn't super nervous. Day two, I was like, I got that heartbeat, I got that little bit of a that you can't really control it. It's like mentally you're not nervous, but your body still gets a little like, oh, this is real now. But it was good, man. It was a lot of fun. I think I was glad I had to be anchor at least once because it's something that I think like all casters should have to do at least once. It kind of tests your limits between all different roles. So it was awesome.
Yeah, because now in NA is usually just like the play and analyst, right? So
Hmm.
that's like a different role, and like balancing like the three people cast is a little bit different than like what we're normally used to, right?
Yeah. It's definitely different. Not only that, but in person. But I think being in person makes it a bit easier because we're so used to
Mm.
doing it in headphones to where I can't see my partner. There's no way we can signal each other. Over there in person, we're like pointing to each other. We're like, no, you go. All right, yeah, you go. Hey, pick up right after this. And like you guys don't really see what we're doing behind the cameras, but really we're like all looking at each other and looking at the game, and it just makes the flow that much easier.
Yeah, and it feels like you're in the game, really, in
That's
person, in front of the live audience. So now, like with going into the NACT and coming back to North America, I know you've been watching a lot of MPL on your streams and then doing a lot of like analysts. So for the NACT, what are your prospects for like teams? Like, what are your predictions? Is there any teams that you're like more you know a little bit more, or you expect a little bit more from these teams?
Um, so I've been keeping track. Right now, what is there? There's 159 teams registered. I think some of them aren't like finished, but I know like me, G, a couple of us have been like logging on to start.gg like every day to be like waiting for. We're all waiting for a certain registration. We're all waiting for Zane to register, right? We want to know what his full
Wait, he
roster is going to
hasn't
be.
registered yet?
I mean, not on here yet. At least unless he registered like today. I checked last night, and he doesn't have a team on
Oh,
here yet. But he always waits till last minute. A lot of the big teams always wait till last minute because they want to make sure they have the right roster together. But some
that's
teams that I think we definitely need to keep our eyes on. We have the Ohio brothers, which is
true.
Hoon,
The best
Shark,
connection of
best player, uh, Gina God Mode, who was the old gold laner from Team First Blood. I think that is like probably S tier right there. That's a team that all of us are going to keep our eyes on. Whoever Zane
for sure.
ends up bringing, word is he's going to bring Yato. which Yato's
That was a
the
really
old
great name.
mage for Area 77. I personally think he's one of the best mages in NA. He's been so young always that he hasn't been able to compete. So it's nice to finally see him. He's going to be on a big stage, and I think if Mobile Legends, how Mobile Legends keeps growing in North America, he'll be like one of those younger players that in a year or two he'll be one of the best. He'll be one of the best in the world if he keeps going. So those are some
Yeah, and this is like
teams.
the
Area 77's
opportunity.
coming back. A bunch of teams coming back. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and this is like the opportunity for these new players to kind of get into the tournament scenes and actually start to plan their career or like plan their future towards mobile gaming. Because before it was kind of more like a part-time deal, but
Mm,
now with this tournament, I'm hoping for the Mobile Legends team to like grow in North America and really become like a tournament scene.
mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
think we're getting there for sure. I think by the end of this year, there come next year there may be opportunities for players to like literally go full time, but we'll see.
And from these teams, and from compared to your game, like from the MPL games you've been watching, what do you think are some improvements that the NA scene in general needs to like move forward with in order to compete in the MSC? Because we know like the top team who wins this tournament is going to go to the MSC. So what do you think are some gaps or like differences between the two metas currently in North America and in the Seas version?
I don't think there's any huge differences in meta exactly. I've always been kind of an arguer that I don't believe there's like huge. Like I think the only region that has like a big difference in meta is like Malaysia, like because they just don't follow any
Um,
rules. They're like a region that just kind of does whatever they want. They'll pick Eudora on the world stage and win games, and like they're crazy. But like when it comes to us, I think our we actually talk about this a lot sometimes on stream and stuff, and
mhm.
I think our problem, what we're good at, is our micro mechanics, our team fights. No matter what heroes we have, no matter how we get into it, we're scrappy and we can win games off Lord fights, 5v5s. When we're on the map and we're going against you, it's something that our teams thrive in, right? I think our weakest point right now is our dimensions in the draft, right? I think we're very straightforward. When we pick something, you know exactly what lane it's going to, you know exactly where it's going, how it's going, and we are easy to read in the draft. And that seems to always be, for example, the Valley versus Onyx. What pick was it? The Lunox jungle pick by Kyrie just shredded us. It was a thing that finally put the nail in the coffin, and we would never pick something like that, you know? And it's just, I think
Yeah.
that's where we need to evolve. We need to be willing to take that chance, take that risk, pick up that pick that nobody's going to expect. That and not only, I mean, we've made some surprising picks in the past, but pick something that, and then put it in a role that nobody's going to expect as well. So I think we just need to kind of get a little
Get
bit
out of the
deeper in our
comfort zone.
drafts. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's our only real weakness right now, I think.
And I think this is a really good practice for all the teams to really develop their drafts and also expand their hero pools to really compete in
Mm.
that scene. And let's talk a little bit about you. So you kind of, I remember the first time you started casting for the NACT, and I think you kind of built this community and kind of brought this team, like brought this tournament along with Dave to the current stage it is in now. So for you, like what are something you want to share about your journey building the NACD community and this years of streaming, or your prospects as a streamer personally moving forward for the NA community in North America?
Um, well, for me personally, last year I spent a lot of time casting, working on events, things like that. This year I'm trying to focus a little bit more on just casting and my personal brand and getting myself out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think something to share with like there's a lot of aspiring casters coming up. There's a lot of aspiring players. Um, and you know it's hard work, and I hope that I think a lot of people just have to kind of buckle down and start working on it. Like people like Dave put in a lot of hours for this stuff, you know. I don't think you know, a lot of people behind the scenes put in a lot of hours for this. You know, they don't go out on the weekends, they don't go and they're not going to the bars and stuff or doing this or partying with friends. They're getting off work, they're coming home, they're sitting on the computer, they're doing an interview, or they're, you know, they're editing a video, or they're talking to teams and they're hosting hosting scrims, and like the people who you see that are doing very well are the people that are doing that hard work.
behind the
So
scenes, and there's
I
so much
definitely
work
think
put
it's
into.
possible. They just have to. You got to be able to work
Mhm.
for it. Look at Zane. That man
Yeah.
plays every single day. That is why he's the best because he is practicing every single day. You know, it's just
Yeah. You have to commit to it. Whatever it is you decide to do, like commit to it because you put in so much commitment, and then Dave has been working so hard all these years. So for Dave, I think he's trying to go a little bit more in the backstage, which is tearful for all the fans. But for you, I think you always talked about like how you wanted to build your caster profile, and then I think for you, you want to go this professionally and then like continue Mobile Legends and continue being a caster.
yeah. That's the plan this year. I think after M4, I mean, we set the goal last year. We freaking
Mm-hmm.
completed
You
it.
reached the
We
goal.
did. We reached the goal. We did M4, which was like it's still mind blowing. Um, this year, we're gonna be doing NACT the whole way. I'm gonna be trying to, maybe you might see my face at some other smaller events throughout the year. I've been reaching out to some other companies and stuff. I can't release any information out, but it is all Mobile
Mm,
Legends related. But I'm working on getting more and more gigs throughout the year. I would like to try by the end of this year be able to do this full time. That's the goal. But
yeah,
my
you
goal
have a
this
real
year
talent.
is, yeah, I think I think I'm all right. We're getting there.
And all the best wishes for Trex. So, is there anything else you want to share to your fans?
Uh, I don't know. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting. Um, no hashtags this year. We're just gonna do this. I feel good about this. Um, support all the casters. Support all the casters. We're doing
Hashtag
duos. Yeah, hashtag NACT, man. Hashtag NACT.
NACT. All
Support
right.
the teams. Be kind.
Yeah, be kind in the comments, guys. I
Yeah.
haven't read it yet, but all right. Thank you so much, Trex, for all your time. And today, that's ended right here. And please hit the like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notifications, and keep up with the updates for the tournament. All right. See you guys.